central region. It is something that has been going on for a very long time. They have theirs as well.
Right.
And just as you said, it is the maiden edition here in Kumasi, and it's been amazing. For what reason brought about the planning and putting together something like that?
Right, Marvin, we want to say this issue came about some 5 years ago. But then it was put on hold because of certain factors. But I want to say that what happened at Central Region really sparked that we needed to start something. So the director decided, here in the past we had the Kora concert. And it was held every 5th of March, the day before the Independence Day. And students from all schools will have to present class and they will have to sing patriotic song. So some 5 years ago, they decided that no, these people, when they go to worship, they play the band, they do very well with other things. Again, at entertainment, some people have special talent, but then we've not taken notice of that and we have not given it the needed attention. So we decided this year that we wanted to do it. Initially, the plan was that we were going to have it done among schools within the Greater Kumasi jurisdiction. However, other people protested. Other schools protested that they also equally have good band. So the initial plan was that we were going to have 20 schools. So when we expanded beyond the borders of the Greater Kumasi, we had 30. But later, one school also protested that he will have to appear, whether he's selected or not. So it became 31. So we had 31 schools in attendance. And it also,
which shows that there's an interest in
there. Yes. And the planning and the reason of these live band within the schools, none of them had gone beyond 3 months. So the longest periods a band had really rehearsed is about 2 months. But then I want to tell you that short time they had rehearsed, their performances were very amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah. So the intent is to bring out the talent in them. And then right after the program, I told the regional director of education that we need to build an office at his end and have a hub where these selected ones are nurtured. They will have to go through the rudiments of the training. We need to get them experts. We need to get them people who are good at various instruments and people who can coach them as if they are going for a reality show. So that when at one point in time, let's say the Ghana Armed Forces say that we need a trumpeter, then we are able to provide for them. When a certain group say that we need somebody to back us to record an album, then we have it there. But they're not for music alone, but for all the other disciplines that we have, so that it will not be like the Intercode Espazo that just after the program, we only give them yogurt and they go back and that becomes the end of the whole thing. So let us be very intentional about these talents and let us nurture them very well for the betterment and the progress of society.
Now let me ask this: who are the producers of this particular event or the show? Like who produces it? Is it like it's GES?
Yes, basically
GES
yeah,
event.
Yes.
Who put together this whole thing?
Yes.
And you see, for somebody who is not like, I'm not in the know, like I don't have any, I don't know about this whole thing. What's this whole show about? What's this whole event about?
Yeah, the whole event, like you asked, it was being produced by GS, Ghana Education Service. The intent is to bring these talents out and to help them nurture them, because some of them don't have the needed coaching. And
if you speak into the microphone.
Right. Sorry. And some of them don't have the training. Some of them have music teachers who are there, but then the music they do is not the live band something. So this time around, they were tasked to do the live band something, and it came. Again, some schools do not do music at all, and they have teachers who are musically inclined, and they also help them. They also brought other people to come and support them, to coach them. So basically, it was GS who brought that into being. However, I think we want to say a very big thank you to multimedia, because it was the what do we call it? It was the springboard that made other people came to the realization that there was something going to happen on that day. Because here at Love FM, the live band was set up here, and students came in here to display their talent. Others also went to Inshra, and for me, it was just amazing. We had almost the least number at every time for the period of 7 days was 3.
Okay.
There was a time we had 4. At another time we even had 5.
6. We even came to 6.
Yes. So
are you talking about the media outlets?
No, I'm talking about when they came in here. The schools.
The normal schools.
Yes. not the number of schools that appeared on each day. The minimum was 3
on this platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Other times it was 6. So even if it was 3 by 7, that was 21. So it was only 10 who could not come here. So almost all of them came here. And Marvin, I think your judgment was very right. There was a particular school you were so much keen about them. Yes, and no wonder they were there. Yes, they were crowned the champion.
Yes. How about my school, Kumasi High School?
They did well. Kumasi High School's performance, I think they were on the 12th position. Yeah, they did well.
Ah, that's terrible.
That wasn't terrible. You know that the
what about Prempeh College on Opokuwa?
Opokuwa was 3rd. Armed Forces was 2nd.
Opokuwa
3rd. Then Prempeh College was on the 18th position. I should believe. I will check that. 8th position, right? I'll check it. But for that young boy from Twase and told them the timekeeper that please let's have 8 minutes for them because we may travel deep into the night. So I want to tell them. So schools like Kumasi High, instead of 10 minutes, had 8 minutes. School like Monica's had 8 minutes. Then Tepa Senior High School also had 8 minutes. You know,
that's so fair.
Yes, but we told them because of constraints of time. And again, Tepa, you know, it's far from here.
True.
And they were the last school to perform. So leaving Kumasi after 8, going through this traffic, you get back to school around 11. Another thing that probably we need to stick to, and as teachers and coaches for this band, you have to do for us that when we've done the ballot, you don't expect that we need to skip certain schools and go and bring the last school to perform. It happened with Tepa. I moderated the program with 3 other students, and when I was going to check on something, the other moderator said that Tepa Senior High School will have to come and perform when we're on the 12th position and Tepa was on the 31st position. So I had to embarrass them. Sorry, they need to forgive me. When they had started, I paused. I asked them to shut down the sound, and when it was shut down, I asked the boys and girls that please get up. The next school must follow, because when we don't follow the ballot as has been indicated a day before the competition, teachers of all these schools walked in only for the ballot. So if you want to gloss over that, then why was the need for them to come?
Yeah.
So I said no, let's stick to the balloting, because come what may, the last school will perform, and everybody will also leave here late. So let's do that. And Tepa, sorry for me being mischievous over there, but then he needed to do that.
So going forward, I feel you should try and be disciplined with the time. Like, let's take why do we have to travel to 8 o'clock? 8, we live in the stadium at around 8 p.m. These are you
these
and I know that these are more like teenagers and they are youth. These are youth, and some of them will have to go back to school. Some of them will also have to go back to their homes. So I think with the next subsequent events, we should make sure that we bring the time to, let's say, we should all leave the stadium around, let's say, 5 or 4.
Yeah, that was the initial plan.
Yeah, so
the only problem was that we could not start on time as we had planned.
So
because initially
we
wanted to start around 9, and by 5 we were good to go. And most schools also had to travel, you know, some from
distance,
and you still have to wait for them. So like Marvin suggested, if we are having 2 days for it, then we can have this done on this day and have this done on that day.
Okay, so let's say the preliminary stages will happen on the day 1, then at the end of the day 2 we have the finals.
Yes.
Like we do like that, like
the that is what we want to do. And I think for first aid it was superb. The other challenge also had to do with power.
The ambulance services were there.
Yes.
You should also employ bring in the other services. You spoke about security. Was the police visible?
We had the
there?
police. Police was visible.
Have enough numbers, like
police was visible. Fire service came with their fire tender,
yes, of course,
with the water in, that if the place becomes so hot, you know, they will have to spray the students to
Just cool them.
Yeah, cool them down. So we had about 3 fire tenders that were just in the stadium.
Well, 50,000 students.
That's an amazing
40,000 capacity.
Yeah, and food service was okay. People were giving food, and most students also came with their food. You know, they came with their food from school. So most of them took their breakfast and lunch over there. The only challenge was that they never knew they were going to travel that far. So they will have to go back to school late to take their supper. And that was also not going to be.
And I feel the GS will have to have a strong sponsorship team. So
yes.
we'll bring in a lot more people.
Yes.
So that is
there will be a lot more goodies for
that is where I wanted to bring in the multimedia brand.
Yes.
That is where the multimedia brand comes in, because when you partner with a brand like multimedia, they definitely know that they have that very muscle to pull in a lot of sponsorship for some of these things. So it's an amazing.
So you need better partners like you. Multimedia, have that discussion with us. Let's see.
Exactly. We've done that. Only that
exactly.
The next one, especially with media and sponsorship.
Exactly.
We want to do the planning now, so that somewhere by January we would have gotten all the sponsors and all whatever, and then we take it over.
You
so
have a good show, a great show, not a good show, a great show.
So when you spoke of the 50,000 capacity of students coming through to the stadium, I was about suggesting a different location, but then again I realized that the stadium is the appropriate place to be having this, so that we can at least have a vending spot where we have the markets, the food markets where students can actually go. We can open that very place up as well for vendors. People from other places with food will come and set up in the vendor, that is the food market space. Then students will also come. It's all part of the experience, and this has been it has been a massive experience as well.
Marvin, sorry for making this also known here, but then they are part of bitter truth that must be known. You know, when you go pick up the sports stadium, they will not allow you, the event organizer, to bring in any food vendor.
They will have to pick it for you. Or
no, they say that they have their own vendors already. They've accredited them, so it is either their vendors or no vendor.
So that's that's them.
Yes. That's them. So so what you need to do is one of the things, I think one of the for event organizing, they can have their vendors. It's allowed. So what you need to do is that, for the reason they have their vendors is that they don't want anyone to come and serve food that might go on hurting the students in a long food, exactly. So what you do is that you can open a portal whereby vendors can come and register with their certificate ahead of time. So you can allow them bring their vendors, but also putting those procedures in place.
Right.
Are you talking about the vendors that the Ghana Sports Authority?
The Ghana Sports Authority,
Baba Yare Sports Stadium. Baba Yare Sports
they have
Stadium, and their vendors. Are you talking about their vendors or the vendors that you are going to call on board?
No, I'm talking about the vendors that are going to come on board.
So
GS, this event itself is for GS.
Yeah, but then for them, their policy is that they don't allow anybody to come in.
No, there should be